The DLC for Smash Ultimate has sadly ended. On a super high note, but it still ended. Speculations may be gone for now, or so they should be, but that doesn't mean we can't talk about the game anymore. So today I want to look back, talk about the fighters passes subjectively, my opinions, my thoughts. We all have different opinions on the characters that were added, so please stay respectful. I think I'll be fine for the most part, cause I did like the additions we got. Well, there's always an exception, I guess. But still, for me the rest was incredibly good. Before ranking the characters overall, I want to rank them based on some categories I made, so let's start. The first thing you see for a character is, of course, their trailer. Whether they got invited or beat themselves to death over an invitation, there was only one who had the balls to invite themselves. Sephiroth's trailer was absolutely divine. I don't know why they decided to spoil us with this stunning animation. The way it all unfolds is just so good. It starts off with our almost full roster struggling to fight Galeem, who then gets cut perfectly in half. Then, oh, who the fuck is that in the distance? The one-winged angel himself, that's who. Cloud was just enjoying himself in Smash, but then this motherfucker was like, nah, I'll never be a memory.
Don't need that Smash invitation bullshit to come and kick your ass again, Cloud.
What I think helps the trailer become great is when there is no teasing. Aside from some people noticing Hero, then assuming it's a square rep, there was no teasing at all. That point aside, you see the character with no clue of who it may be, and I think this helps in the long run. It's gonna be super hard to top it. For the rest, it's hard to rank. I'm putting Piranha Plant last for obvious reasons, so let's talk about the second worst, Byleth's. Byleth's was definitely the worst in terms of keeping the surprise. You see the character within the first 3 shots, and it was filled with random things like, I reward your cleverness this time. For what? Picking female over male Byleth? The pacing was tedious. Byleth recruits Byleth? What the fuck? It was more exciting to see the different weapon relics come out of nowhere than Byleth himself. That shows how bad this was. This was a hard time to rank, aside from the best and worst, cause it really depends on my mood. But for sure, my favorite gameplay has to be Hero's. Hero is so stupid and I love it. It makes every single match that I play with him a fucking experience. There's so much variety and great moves, and yeah, even though he's kinda slow, it doesn't change the fun factor that I get. I actually do like slow fighters in a way, which is why Byleth is my personal second favorite. This list is very subjective. I mostly put the characters I'm trash with at the bottom. The only objective thing about my list is of course having Min dead last. I don't even need to show you my gameplay, I only need Sakurai's to show you how much of a boring character this atrocity is. Running away and spamming smash attacks, that's what this whole character is about. Sure, it's very accurate to her game and what I expected, but this is not fun. I keep beating customers DK, who is much better than me at Smash, just because of this character. And did you know? She's Japan's least favorite character. Everyone hates her. I'm sorry for being such a dick, but come on, I'm spitting.
Yeah, he kind of spitting, you know what I'm saying?
Ayo, what the fuck? I know I have some Persona bias, but come on, Joker's Final Smash is easily the best one hands down for a plethora of reasons. They did have to censor it a tiny bit, but it still kinda worked with the Persona 5 aesthetic. Look, stars! I'm only gonna show one reason to prove that this is the best Final Smash. Yeah, no shit, this is the best one. Accurate and absolutely clean. Now, I put Byleth last because I personally feel like it's kinda garbage looking and had a bunch of missed potential. Like, I get it, it's Ruptured Heaven and even in 3 houses it's not that flashy. But I wished he used a different class or a combination of different classes. Heck, he just punches the shit out of you. Anything that looks cool. It's definitely one of the worst looking Final Smashes, even outside of DLC, but that's my opinion. Very random category, I know, but I still wanted to rank them because I really love animations. Anyways, the winner for the best victory screens is of course Sephiroth because, you know, the flames background, the references, everything here is fucking sick. And let me clean some air real quick regarding the other rankings. Banjo not only has some really amazing win animations, but also the best animations in the game, which is why he's so high up. Joker would have been the best one, but then you look at his victory screen in T-mode and yeah, there's your problem. At least Sephiroth has a pose. I put Kazuya almost last because it really could have used the theme. It's so dumb that it's so quiet.
Majima wins.
It just feels so lifeless. Come on, guys. And I mean, look at this. You could have moved the camera to the left. This is so stupid looking. And I put Steve last for obvious reasons. They removed his meat, therefore last place. The music that came with the fighters was incredibly strong, and some people may be shocked to hear that Final Fantasy takes this spot. Not only because it's Final Fantasy, but we managed to get what we missed from Cloud's inclusion. I mean, One Winged Angel Advent Children version is a fucking banger. And as crazy as it may sound, I put Persona second. And the reason is that there are so many tracks that are missing, and I'm incredibly salty. With Persona 5 Royale and Strikers that came out after Joker's inclusion, it's hard to overlook some of them, especially when they tease us with Life Will Change in his reveal trailer, and instead we get fucking Wake Up, Get Up, Get Out There, which I love. But it makes no sense in Smash's setting. Like, we're missing Willpower, Keeper of Lust, Blooming Villain, Life Will Change, Takeover, Keep Your Faith. Can you tell I'm a Persona fan? I really care about those songs, and not having them in sucks huge dick and balls. And yeah, I'm still going. Don't judge. I'm very salty, like I said. Pull the Trigger, Remember We Got Your Back, Invitation to Freedom, and finally Nothing Is Promised. And I'm just scratching the surface here. That's why I'm ranking Persona slightly lower than Final Fantasy. I think that's enough proof to say that Persona was done dirty in terms of songs. Also, just letting you know, Dragon Quest music is fine. Kinda repetitive in my taste, but only having 8 of them kinda just sucks. For the stages, mechanic-wise, Arena of Fatal Fury would be my favorite. I hate walk-off stages for obvious reasons, and Terry's stage fixed it. It's so much fun and fresh. I wish this was put in every single stage with a walk-off. And if we're talking visual-wise, I'm not even trying to show bias, but come on, Mementos is absolutely beautiful, and it changes color based on the song. I guess my expectations were super low for Mementos, and that's probably why I like it so much. A very close second for me would either be Spiral Mountain, Hollow Bastion, or more so Dive to the Heart, and Northern Cave. Northern Cave is a spectacle, but it can make me dizzy in some places. Dive to the Heart is fucking awesome despite missing Donald and Goofy, but that makes fucking sense. And Spiral Mountain has so many references, I love it. I think the stages are the strongest part of the fighter's past. There's nothing that I really dislike about the stages, except that some characters may look a little wacky, and some textures looking... yeah, repulsive is the word I'd use. I put Spring Stadium last because of the ceiling. I find the ceiling, despite being for the most part irrelevant, annoying as shit. It's just a boring mechanic. Also, it makes no sense that we're not in Ramen Bowl. It's supposed to be Min Min stage. Why are we in Spring Man stage? So far, Joker has the best looking amiibo. Now, of course, I don't own all the amiibos, but from what I've seen compared to other characters and what has been released thus far, by the time of recording, Min Min isn't even out yet, Joker has the best looking amiibo, and it's mostly thanks to the blue flames that surround him. It just looks so good. And so here's the final list. The one that I'd say matters most, cause so far I was trying to be as objective as possible with the side of opinions here, but now we're getting into nothing but opinions. Did I want this character? Did they turn out the way I wanted or better? Do I love their playstyle? Did I get into a franchise I never played before thanks to them and loved it? Well, let's start from the bottom, that being the subscribe button. Please subscribe, because if you made it this far, it probably means you're enjoying the video. I mean, come on. Face it. Number 12. Look, from the lists I showed, it was pretty obvious that of all the DLCs, for me at least, Min Min is the worst. I bought ARMS, I played ARMS for a week, I sold ARMS, then I bought it again for review purposes, but that's for another day. Compared to most people who hate things they never tried because anime sword fighter, I wonder who I'm referring to. I at least have my reasons for hating Min Min's inclusion. First off, Min Min does not have a fun playstyle. It's all about zoning out, which is not fun for either the player nor the opponent. Although I do play a bunch of zoning characters like Samus, Richter, and Snake, I can still have some fun when I get up close and personal. Min Min can't do shit from up close. You have to stay away as much as possible. Just like how you should stay away from playing her. Alright, a little anecdote. So as I was getting footage from Min Min, my cat wanted some pets, and she got on my lap without my consent, we'll say. Cute kitty. And yeah, even though I had this handicap, it doesn't matter. I beat that wolf's ass. Like, what the fuck is this character? She's so shit. And I just thought ARMS, the game itself, was a super mediocre game at best, and we could have used a better character for a spot. Now, I know that's a super toxic way to put it, I know, but I don't know how else to express my feelings. But in terms of positive things, Min Min does have a great design. The songs, despite having the same bass in all of them, are pretty enjoyable. The moveset, despite being absolute dog shit, is unique, and she's the only character from ARMS I really like and care about. Cause I know I would have hated Springman's edition. Thank you, Sakurai, you're cool.
Number 11.
We're getting into the good characters now, but who the fuck wanted Piranha Plant? I'm mixed about this because I hate this from a far look, but then the gameplay came in and I actually loved it. I can't think of any character that could have had a similar moveset aside from probably with a huge stretch, the plants from Plants vs. Zombies, but even then I don't think I want those things in a Smash game. Piranha Plant, despite being absolutely what the fuck, is a fine addition, all thanks to the gameplay mostly.
Number 10.
Not a huge fighting game guy. That's why I put him low. I didn't even know who Terry was when he first got announced. That's how out of touch I was with Fatal Fury.
Bruh.
But hey, he's not a bad addition. I mean, the rankings earlier shows how great he is. So despite me being trash with fighting game characters, I can play him better than Ryu and Ken, I think. I'm just glad we're getting more fighting game reps. And I mean, SNK had to come in at some point. So it's a good addition. Good.
Number 9.
I remember not wanting Steve in this game for a few reasons. His animations and his moveset. And crazy enough, my assumptions were right. I'm a perfectionist and I love seeing sick animations. So when you put in a character that has 4 limbs that go in a 180-degree arc, yeah, I'm just not gonna be hyped. I know it's a silly reason, but that's just how I am. Yeah, he deserves his invitation. I mean, Steve has the best-selling game of all time after all, so it only makes sense. Is this why they gave him such a bitch of a moveset though? Like, Steve, chill! I'm glad to see he made it despite my earlier thoughts. Time has passed and I changed my mind a little.
Number 8.
Why are you here? And why does your moveset kick ass? I get it. We needed Final Fantasy to be better represented, and it's what we got. But I'd be lying if I said his inclusion was perfect. It still leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, cause of all the Final Fantasy characters we got, why another one from FF7? We could have had a Final Fantasy VI character, you know, the better Final Fantasy game. Oh, what's that? Do I have a death wish? Sorry, did I just spit some facts on you? But seriously, we could have had a character from another game, plus the Final Fantasy VII things. That's what they did for Joker with Persona 3 and 4. Sephiroth is cool and one of the most iconic villains of all time, sure, but I still think of what could have been. That point aside, credit goes where credit is due. We had a kick-ass theme, a beautiful stage, and an amazing moveset. I really never believed in Sephiroth making it in for a bunch of reasons, and yet we live in this reality. I know a ton of people who were huge on the idea of Sephiroth getting in, and you know what? Good shit. He turned out to be way better than I thought he would. All the characters up until this point are what I'd consider extras for me, and the following characters are what I'd put in a very positive light for me.
Number 7.
Not a huge fighting game guy. That's why I put him low. Now, I wouldn't say I lied earlier, but Tekken is actually a fighting game I kinda enjoyed, so I think I can personally get into it if I try hard enough. Now, I kept getting blasted in comments for the Kazuya video saying that Heihachi was actually not the main character of Tekken, it was Kazuya and Jin mostly. So thank you, comments. Now I know who I really wanted. Kuma. But the main takeaway from me wanting Heihachi is that I wanted a Tekken rep, and it's about fucking time. I personally never understood why people said it'd be too hard to implement a Tekken rep because it's a 3D fighter. I may be incredibly fucking dumb, but this shit's on the 2D plane, like, the fuck you smoking? How's that hard? In Smash it would have been a breeze to translate into, and look where we are now. I was right, maybe. I was kinda weirded out by the way Sakurai implemented his moveset, cause unlike Tekken, you don't use one button for the arms and the other for the legs, and Sakurai likes to keep the traditional things, you know? And yet they're not here, but whatever. I'm still really glad we finally got our Tekken rep in Smash, and also our second Namco franchise. It's about time.
Number 6.
Now, I never really wished for Hero to get in Smash, but I was looking for an awesome moveset to fuck around with. So even though I never begged to see the Luminary get in, I did play some Dragon Quest on my DS back when I was smaller, believe it or not. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing cause the game was in English and all I could speak was croissant. Then Hero got revealed, I played some Dragon Quest 11 later, and it was fine from what I played, still need to get through everything. But yeah, even though Hero doesn't have much attachment to me, he's this high up because of his gameplay mostly. Like I said earlier, every game feels so different and exciting to play because of RNG. And if you're looking for a fun time, look no further. And even if you want to play a tiny bit more competitively, you can just avoid the RNG commands that can hurt you. Or the better option, use Hocus Pocus every time you see it. Hero is awesome despite me not knowing anything about him, but like he's just a great addition. Also, am I the only one who's triggered they called him Hero and not Luminary? Isn't that what the Hero's bloodlines are called? Hero's such a dumb name, but I rest my case.
Number 5.
Wait, did this dude put Byleth at number 5?
What?
What is wrong with this
Byleth
dude,
at number
bro?
5
God.
is too high up, bro. What the?
Look, I get it. We're in a time where trashing on Fire Emblem characters getting in Smash is cool. But that hate made more sense back in the Smash 4 days. Chrom, and now Byleth. Both very loved characters from Fire Emblem getting in Smash Ultimate. And although Byleth was a shit way to end Fighters Pass 1, despite being told earlier another pass was on the way, I still love Byleth's inclusion. The gameplay he came with is fucking awesome, and we finally have more than just a sword fighter for Fire Emblem. Yeah, people forget you, I know, but I won't. Although he still uses his sword as a main weapon, we have a Fire Emblem rep that shows the weapon triangle in his moveset, which I consider to be a win for me, despite it not appearing in this game. I'm just saying, try Fire Emblem Three Houses before shitting on FE characters. Blind hating isn't cool and it ain't gonna get you anywhere. And I mean, come on, his moveset is absolutely awesome! Like, how can you sleep on this? Despite people's shitty opinions on Byleth, I'll still regard him as a good addition.
Number 4.
It wasn't Rex. But hey, it's a Xenoblade 2 character nonetheless, and I'll fucking take it. Pyra and Mithra's addition was such a no-brainer, and despite not showcasing the whole aspect of Xenoblade 2's mechanics between the driver and their blade, which is disappointing in its own right, I'm still glad they're here. The gameplay they came with is super nice. I personally prefer Pyra because I lean more towards heavy characters.
You can't just go and call a lady heavy.
But even then, Mithra isn't tedious to play for me, which I find fascinating since I hate fast combo-y characters. The switch between both of them keeps things interesting for me. I remember telling myself I'd never forgive Sakurai if a Xenoblade 2 character didn't make it in after Min Min's inclusion, but now, here we are. He is forgiven, and I love him.
Number 3.
He may not be as relevant as he used to be, so stay salty, but Banjo and Kazooie are finally here. It's crazy that it took them so long to get in, and yet it feels as though they were here from the start. Their moveset may feel like a veteran character, which doesn't help their case that much, but I mean, what do you expect? One of the platforming icons from the 90s, rivaling games like Mario 64, feels different from newer characters with more recent entries? No shit! It's not an RPG with 1,000 moves, nor a fighting game with command inputs. Banjo-Kazooie is a simple platformer with basic moves to accommodate a genius level design. The original moveset I came up with wasn't incredibly different, but there were some odd choices in my opinion. Still, it works and that's what mostly matters. And bro, their animations are absolutely 110% beautiful. It's incredibly expressive, and those stretches, oh my god! I'm absolutely stunned that I had to wait 18 years for my childhood dream to finally come true. And oh boy, am I glad I lived long enough to see the day.
Number 2.
I think it's only natural that Sora would make it, at least for most people, in the top 3 of their favorite DLC fighters. Whoever says that this is a character that nobody wanted is a hater at this point. The winner of the Smash ballot and the guy who kept trending on Twitter before every Smash reveal would make the most amount of sense. Hell, he has been trending not for days, not for weeks, but for months after his reveal. And yeah, we're talking about Kingdom Hearts Sora in those trending tabs. I still remember the first time I saw the Kingdom Hearts 2 demo at Micromania, the French equivalent of GameStop, and I was like, the fuck is this Captain Tsubasa looking dude doing with Goofy and Mulan? Hey yo, shit, that gameplay kinda sick though. Then I got the game and absolutely loved it. Sora for me was a character I never thought I'd see happen. I made my peace with it a long time ago too. He was originally my number 3 in my way earlier Smash list, but after comparing my Banjo and Sora reactions... Yeah, I think it only makes sense to have him in second place. I was kinda scared at first that his moveset wouldn't work for me because it's Bayonetta's playstyle but with more range and it's more floaty. Oh, floaty! But in the end, I kinda like it. It's definitely not my favorite, but it's still good. Out of all the characters we got, Sora was the most deserving to get in Smash based on fan requests, and I'll never forget that day and feeling.
Number 1.
So guys, I know you may not know about this, but I'm a huge Persona 5 fan. I don't think it was that hard to guess that Joker was my favorite DLC. Persona 5 means so much to me, so getting a character from my favorite game is a no-brainer for me going monkey. I still remember during his reveal, I was on my way to GameStop to grab Smash at midnight, my Discord notices were going crazy, and then I received a call from my brother basically saying don't look at Discord, just go in our DMs and see what got announced. Then he sent me a picture. I almost got into a car accident. And then when I got to GameStop, some dude announced Joker's reveal, and I was the only one who went, woo! That was the loneliest time of my life. But hey, Joker's in, I'm happy, and it's what matters. Although I'm not completely satisfied with everything, mostly the soundtrack and moveset, I still think he was fine enough.
And if you're wondering why I hate his moveset, you may want to sub so I can go over it later and fix it in a future video.
Although I wasn't in complete denial like I was with Sora, I thought his inclusion would have been weird and out of left field, and the only hope to hold on to was that one interview where Sakurai said he loved the UI for Persona and took inspiration from it for Smash Ultimate, as well as that Easter egg in Persona 5 where Futaba mentions Super Bash Brothers. That was it. And it went through. And it went through. I feel like objectively speaking, Joker's edition makes no sense whatsoever. But hell do I give a fuck! I am thrilled to play as my man Joker in my favorite franchise of all time. This game is absolutely insane to me. Knowing that Luigi, Joker, Banjo and Kazooie, Sora, Link, and Shulk can all be on the same screen to fight each other on a licensed product. This game is absolutely beautiful and the best crossover in media we will ever have. If Smash 6 were to do an everyone is here situation again, which the possibilities are almost none, we can only go up from here. But what did you think of my list? Did you agree with anything? Let me know in the comments, I reply most of the time. And also tell me which character you feel we missed upon. Capcom reps? Anyone? But for now, that's where I'll leave you. Please subscribe, we have a goal for the end of the year and I can't do it without your help. Watch the Whole Note 2021 update section for more details. Thank you for watching and as always please, take care. Here are some bloopers. I really care about those songs. That's what they did with Joker from... I was about to say from Persona 3 and 4.